are we talking about, fam? What's today?
Today
Today is a good day, man.
We tired.
You feel me? But you know what? Man, hold on. Oh, real quick, bro. Real quick. Like, this does make me think about all the rappers that's been dying, bro, early. You feel me? Like, dudes in their 20s.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's more of the unlivable ways being championed in rap music, bro.
What you mean by unlivable?
I feel like we sell lifestyles into music as if they're sustainable.
Right.
You know, like we use our lyrics, our creativity, production, mix, master, and roll out.
Right.
And we paint and tell these stories and we put it out. And the general public, we eat it up. It feels good. We know it's wrong, but we love it that much more. And then something happens in the mind where, like Paul says, we become creators of evil. And then he said, even if you're not a creator of evil, we love evil. So either creating it or loving it, right? So to me, the point is we too often like make these things cool and normal. And then when people try it or live by it, they end up turning in on themselves.
Wow.
And it's not a good outcome.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so I think like when I think of the power of rap music in particular though.
Yeah.
Because you get, well, you used to get 3 verses, 16 bars.
Right.
Now you're getting
maybe one.
maybe
you might get one verse, 12 bars.
You hear me? You get a 12 bar. And but now when you think about the repetition, the swag, like it's just something inherently cool about the rap music and the culture that just has a sway on everybody that hears it. And when they run into it, you either at least you're okay with the stuff being rapped about, or you're not mad as you should be. Yeah. Or you just outright try it and you try to live it out.
Right. And it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
now it's crazy, you know, having a 10-year-old and a 21-year-old. Yeah. You know, I'm constantly in that having to have this conversation. But it's so interesting because particularly with my oldest, the conversation is really more about how to define what evil is. So it's like we're using terms, but that in a post-Christian world
or pre-Christian, arguably, but
pre-Christian, arguably, are not like they don't mean like you would just assume. You know what I mean by evil, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Facts. Now you know that when you hear that, that's like you know something wrong with that, right? Yeah. And the truth is that we gotta start because you know, like Gen Zers, for example, right? Their goal is to correct millennials. Like they want to correct everything they feel like even we did wrong.
Dang. Yeah.
And part of that correction is like taking away definitive categories. You know what I'm saying? Like, facts. Yeah, see, y'all tried to put all of that on us. Like, we don't move like that. Yeah. Like, we don't like, you know, don't try to put that on us with regards to sex and sexuality. Don't try to put that on us.
Well, I ain't no rapper.
Yeah.
I'm an entertainer.
I'm an entertainer, right? They want to get rid of everything.
Do you rap or sing?
Right.
I'm just me.
I'm just me, right? They want to get rid of any and all definitive categories that we once used to categorize, like provide definition, right? Like and clear lines. Like if it's evil, you know, okay, I draw a line here. That's I mean, that's to me the trick of Satan. Yeah, is to kind of get the culture to get rid of that category so as to erase the line that would keep you from like keep you from hurting yourself. It's like get rid of all the guardrails.
Yeah.
It's like what's Robbie say a lot? He says, you know, before you remove a fence, you should first find out why it was put there in the first place. Like, bro,
Right.
it's a pit bull behind that. Don't move. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Satan wants to get rid of all. So it's like, it's interesting because today we got to go, like, we have to keep figuring out ways to explain what we used to think was the obvious.
Yeah.
Like, murder is evil.
Right.
But I mean, not if, you know what I'm saying? Like, the culture is like,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
but if he did, like, if he don't murder him, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, they find all these ways to justify.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that it's like the conversation is so different now.
Yeah.
Because we don't have we're getting rid of all the overarching, like, standards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That used to guide us.
Right.
So when I listen to this, I'm not filtering it through the grid of good and evil. I'm filtering it through the grid of that's just what he had to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm filtering it through the grid of, but you don't know what his circumstances were. Yeah. I'm filtering it through the grid. And again, not that we ignore that, because that's what we talk about.
Right.
Like, take into consideration what people are coming from as they tell their story. Don't just demonize it. Try to understand their context before you get to what's bad about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if you land there, you can't put a period there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot of like where we are now. Before we can even get to, does this actually work?
Yeah.
Can we define what this actually is?
Right. Nah, that's good, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so true. You know what I think it's leading up to? Like, you see it already. I think this it's either conscious or not. But it seems like the goal is to remove shame, dog. Like, if we can get rid of shame and quiet our consciences, then we can finally do what we want.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like it's that Romans 1 of suppressing the truth and wickedness. It's like we're trying to quiet the conscience, this thing that God has given us that constantly gnaws and whispers in our minds. You know that ain't right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know this ain't good. So we've gotten more confident than we've ever had, in my experience, at least since I've been alive.
Yeah.
In terms of doing whatever you want. Just think of the whole "you can't shame me" thing. Right? We got all, like, you can't shame anybody for doing anything. And it seems like there's something redemptive about it in terms of, like, freeing people. Like rappers can finally talk as nerdy as they want. They can finally dress however they want. Don't have to have, you know, that bravado and always mad and frowning. Like, they can smile now. You know what I'm saying? You can wear your pants tight. You can wear a lot of colors.
Right.
And so I get it. Like, there's just this revolt against the ways of old, but at the same time, it seemed like it's not stopping there in a healthy way towards liberation. It's going all the way to the point of, let's remove shame altogether.
Right.
And you think about in the garden, Adam and Eve felt that shame. You're like, that shame is what leads you to God. That conversation can happen when you realize, I'm embarrassed. Like, something is wrong. When you feel that, that's a healthy thing. It's like if you don't feel pain, something's wrong. Right? If you don't feel pain when you keep scratching your arm too much, bro, you would dig through your arm. You know what I'm saying? And that mug can get cut off and you still not even notice or feel. Right? And I think you're starting to see that sense of let's remove shame altogether. So we removing all the, but the thing is, we sell these things in the music as if they're attainable. Remember, we used to ask, does art imitate culture? Or does culture imitate art? Now I think people are using the art to build themselves up enough to go the distance. So we're using our imaginations and exaggerating in these songs, like rappers rapping as if they use the drugs, and then you find out behind the scenes they really don't. But they sold the lifestyle in the music as if it's sustainable.
Right.
Like, don't be ashamed of this. Like, you want to sip syrup and pop as many pills, like, do it. Your body can take it. It's swaggy. It's lit.
Right.
And then kids go out and they figure, yo, he's healthy.
Yeah.
He's touring regularly.
Right.
He's busy. He's making money. And then they popping pills along the way, dealing with pain suppression, trying to get rid of shame. And then bam, you see so many young cats dying from the overdose. Or suicide rate in other ways, or depression is. I mean, I hate that depression has become so kind of swaggy,
right?
Because it's real,
right.
And now you kind of have to decipher: is this just the swag of it, the clout chasing of it,
right?
The cool factor, or did this person really need, help and attention? Now you don't have to decipher that; just help anybody that needs it. But the point is, we find ourselves in a state.
Almost vogue. It's almost vogue to be depressed.
It is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you trick yourself. So you may be, for those who may be using it as swag, they still have to act depressed. And what happened is that it flips on you when you actually become depressed.
Yeah.
Like that thing you once had control over now has control over you.
People don't realize that realm of, disorder, dysfunction, darkness, that's actually the only realm that Satan has jurisdiction. So when you begin to play with that, get in that space, it's like when people play with Ouija boards.
Yeah.
Like, bro, when you hear stories, you done that before?
Nah, I ain't never done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I've been around it.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear the stories that come out of that, bro?
Yeah.
Like how from the moment that they started, like the things that began to creep into their space, like I
don't doubt
them stories be crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point is that's the realm. What you're talking about, like you start like playing with depression, playing with these disorders, this dysfunction, playing with darkness, that's open. That's flinging the door open for Satan, because that's the only place. They don't have jurisdiction in the light. This is why he doesn't have victory over us. Right. But he has jurisdiction in that space. Yeah. He's like, woo, let's go.
You came over here?
Right.
Yeah.
This is exact. Right. But go ahead.
I'm just piggybacking. I totally get that. And I think it's the same thing with the drug use, bro.
Right. Same thing.
Like I used to get high, but I ain't never used like hard drugs. So I don't know that experience.
Right.
But I just imagine, bro, on certain hard drugs.
Yeah.
Where you just, I don't know what goes on. I don't want to know.
Right.
But it just becomes bizarre, bro.
Right.
Like bizarre behavior. And when you see people taking their lives as a result or dying on accident, like that chemical mixture, whatever that is not meant for the body.
Yeah, right.
And we are body soul. Like we are a unit of both physical and spiritual realities. You know what I'm saying? So when you put something in your body and it responds like that, it also has something to do with the condition of your soul.
Right.
Why are you going to that?
Right.
Why are you seeking that out? So there are two things happening when you pop in that pill. You think it's just fun, but there's a deficit. You're missing something. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, again, to like bash people that are addicted. It's really to just kind of give them behind the scenes insight as to what's going on. You know what I mean? And that's why I think God gave us a way, bro. It's not that he's being mean or weird. It's just that he knows why he put the fence there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I put these parameters in place for your good.
Yeah. Like
Christ came so that we can have life and life more abundantly. Right? He wants us to live and enjoy. Yeah. That's the thing I feel like a lot of the people in general, us, me, but even like a lot of young rappers, they don't know how to tap into the joys of life. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that what it say in Genesis, that sin is crouching. Yeah. Right? It's waiting for you. And if they don't have an alternative to understanding how to deal with stress, how to deal with pressure, social media onslaught of comments, mean comments, and they don't know how to live underneath that. They don't have alternatives for joy, for happiness. You know what I'm saying? Good things that God put in the world to distract you from the imbalance of the fall and the curse that the world is under. They don't know how to access them good things.
Yeah, maybe we can do a better. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do a better job at. And I think this is a conversation to have, because I think this points to the gospel and like have we been limited? Like have we? What's the word you used earlier? Underserved.
Yeah, underserved. Yeah.
Have we underserved the generation, the culture, by not giving them a more complete picture of who God is, and what the Christian life is about?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if the stress is, sin, death, burial, resurrection, it seems like it's a lot of pieces missing from that. That's gonna sound like heresy to some people.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But what I'm saying
break it down.
but what I'm saying is that it seems like and I'm not saying that, all this is our fault. I'm not saying that,
of course.
Right. The fact that they're not living or heeding the basic wisdom that God has placed in them.
Yeah.
And doing, or even the wisdom of their grandmamas,
right.
Or and they just decide, I'm in this life now. That's what we do. We pop Molly. We such and such.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming that on the church.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, when we do engage with people, that's where they find, like you said, it's that search, that longing. What Chuck Swindoll said: the moment you get the thing you always long for, it only creates a desire for more of what you don't have. It's that. I need more, that thirst, which Jesus actually understood. Yeah. And interestingly enough, his response to it was, anybody who's thirsty, come to me. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And anybody who's hungry, because that's what it is. It's that hunger and that thirst. Yeah. But in terms of the broader conversation of Christianity, I wonder if we've relegated it to sin, death, burial, resurrection, to the exclusion of, the beauty of creation. Like, the intention of God is just for you to enjoy his stuff. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Ultimately, that you might enjoy him. Right. Because enjoying his stuff, what did they say? That an idol is when a good thing becomes ultimate. Yeah. Right. So when you take all the good stuff and then you make that good thing an ultimate thing, money, that's amazing. Yeah. Like, get your bread. Like, that's what the Bible says. Of course. The Bible,
man don't work, you don't eat.
Man don't work, you don't eat. Yeah. Get your bread, get the bag. Right. But when you make money ultimate, like your ultimate goal, the ultimate good, then that's when it becomes an idol. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, but the heart of God is, from the beginning, the intention of God was, enjoy my stuff. Yeah. Freely eat. I feel like if we gave people a better sense of God is saying, freely enjoy, like, just in context. Like, I always say, like, the stuff that God has given us to enjoy needs a context and a clock. Like, a context of, like, marriage. Mm-hmm. Like, he got us, like, enjoy sex. I created it. Right. That's a God thing. Yeah. So, but sex needs a context. Yeah. Marriage. True. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it needs a clock. Like, when is this supposed to happen? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And in what context? You know what I mean?
What Solomon say, don't awaken it before it's time.
Don't awaken it before.
Let it sleep.
Let it sleep.
Let it sleep. Before you wake it up.
It's gonna be a bear.
It's gonna be a
like
monster.
You poking a
facts.
Sleeping giant, sleeping bear, whatever they call it. Yeah. But anyway, I'm saying here, what if we spent more time opening it up? Like, do we talk about heaven at all? Yeah. And I don't mean just as like this place, ethereal place you go and float around. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, like, do we talk about the new heaven and new earth? Like, here's the picture of what God actually intended. Yeah. The Genesis is where we see all that go wrong. Yeah. But then he reminds us in Revelation, this is what it was supposed to look like. Yeah. This is what it was intended to be from the beginning, on steroids. I wonder if we introduce people to a broader scope of this is what God is after.
Yeah.
Now, the only way to actually get there is through the cross.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing that hinders you from wanting God is sin. So now we put it in that pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So,
but by this point, you've stretched their imagination.
Yeah.
You've given them a wider vision
That's
of
it, bro.
The human experience.
Yes.
You feel me? And then we get creative in coming alongside of them and enjoying life with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a pathway to both positive and negative of showing you, what this rapper said, you can't live that out.
Right.
But here's a way to get what you're ultimately looking for.
Yeah.
God's way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what it is. So, yeah.
It's not livable.
Facts. Make sure you hit that notification bell after you subscribe. You don't want to miss this complicated ish.